Have you ever wondered why an oven-roasted turkey often turns out dry and bland and tough? Well, I'm going to use a little bit of table time with my kids, along with a little bit of colored pencil illustration, to illustrate to you some different scenarios so we can better understand how it is to treat our turkey. That's on this episode of Cooking with Kibby. Cooking with Kibby. We'll make some yummy food. Cooking with Kibby, yeah. Something that rhymes with food. So put on an apron and grab you a knife. You're gonna have the time of your life. Cooking and cutting and chopping and mixing and stirring and cooking and cutting and stuff. Cooking with Kibby. 'Cause Kibby's your cooking dude. Well, hey everybody, it is Chef Kibby, and if this is your first time here on the channel, Cooking with Kibby is here to help you and your family get back in the kitchen, cooking and eating together, because I believe life is better when we're cooking together. It may look like I am sitting in the middle of my kitchen, at least hopefully it does. This is my first attempt at trying to use a green screen in here, but it is like 9:30 at night, and so everybody's asleep, and I didn't want to bother anybody with my loud speech. So I am down here in my studio trying things out. Let me know in the comments section how you feel it worked out. Anyway, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you can be notified the next time I release some content such as this. Now, the impetus behind a video like this is pretty easy to explain. It's the holiday season. Thanksgiving is just around the corner and Christmas not far behind. And so a lot of people are thinking about roasting a turkey. And I was actually just talking about this when I was on a live call with my students at Columbus State Community College. See, I'm a culinary instructor, and some of our classes are completely online still because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And one of my students in the classroom mentioned that she hated turkey. And it made me think, I've roasted a turkey for Thanksgiving many times, and it's always turned out pretty delicious if I pat myself on the back. I think this illustration that I did for my kiddos will help you to understand as well how it is the turkey can turn out so tough and tasteless. Sorry for the alliteration there. It just comes out of me sometimes. So without any further ado, let's get to the drawing time. Well, hey guys, it is Chef Kibby, and I'm here at my dining room table with some of my girls having some pencil drawing time. Today we're talking about Thanksgiving, which is something on the minds of a lot of people right now. And when a lot of people think about Thanksgiving, they think about turkey. And when they think about turkey, they think about how dry and nasty it can turn up. And so I'm going to use some pencil drawings to show these two and you watching at home just how it happens that turkey can end up being tough and dry and not very appetizing. So today we're going to talk about the pursuit of perfect poultry as illustrated by me, Chef Kibby. Sounds like fun? Okay.
I feel like I want to eat that paper.
Oh, please don't eat the paper. All right. Let's wait until we make the good stuff. Okay, we're going to give 3 examples today. The first example that I'm going to show you is what I call the cold-hearted bird. I'm not sure what else you thought I was going to say there. So what happens with the cold-hearted bird is that this is a turkey that wasn't fully thawed before it was put into the oven. And so that's that blue part that you see there in the middle. The blue part is the icy part, the frozen part of the bird. And so when you take a turkey like this and put it into the oven, it's still really cold on the inside. And so what happens is it starts cooking on the outside and getting warm. And then as it continues to heat, the heat starts making its way into the middle, and it starts melting or thawing the part of the turkey in the middle. But the outside keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And eventually, it's going to get to that point where the outside of the bird looks golden brown and delicious, and it looks like a cooked turkey and it's ready to eat. However, in the center of the turkey, it is still really, really cold. So the outside of the turkey is really, really good, but the inside of the turkey, really, really bad. If it's not fully cooked all the way, then we haven't done our part to kill the pathogens that are present in the meat, which is something that we talk about in another video. I'll leave a link in the show notes. Yeah, we talked about cross-contamination and pathogens and how they can get in our food. And one way that we get rid of pathogens is by cooking them. And so if the bird hasn't thawed properly and we try to cook it like we normally would, we could end up with a really bad situation, and we don't want that. The second scenario is what I call the Mona-Lisa. Now, when I say Mona-Lisa, I'm not talking about the beautiful painting that you'd find in Paris, France. I'm talking about the character Mona-Lisa Saperstein from Parks and Rec. It's a great show. You need to watch it. You'll understand when I get to it. There's two different cases in which this could possibly happen. So we have a clock and we have a thermometer, and then another clock and another thermometer. This can happen when we cook the bird at a really high temperature but not long enough, or sometimes this can happen if we cook it too long at a low temperature. In either case, what happens is that we're cooking the bird, it's beginning to change color, it's beginning to raise in temperature, and the heat continues to make its way into the inside and into the inside. However, there's too much heat taking place on this bird, and so by the time we get to the center and it's fully cooked, which is what that yellow color is showing, once the inside gets fully cooked, the outside is really, really dark.
Ew, it's burnt.
Yeah, because what's happening is that temperature that is coming from the oven, it's hitting the outside first, but is eventually making its way into the middle. And if the temperature is too high on the outside, then the outside is going to get cooked way too fast, and the inside is going to get cooked way too slow. And so what we end up with is really dry, nasty, tough meat. And just like Mona-Lisa Saperstein in Parks and Rec, it's the worst! You know the reference if you saw the show. You kids haven't seen that show, have you?
No.
No, it's okay. It's a meme. Let's get to the
Good.
piece de resistance, all right? It's what the French would say. We're going to go with the Poultry Perfection. And this is when we get it right with the time and the temperature, okay? So we're cooking it a good amount of time and keeping it at the right temperature. And we have a bird that is fully thawed and ready to go into the oven. With this circumstance, with this scenario, it's cooking around the outside very slowly and then eventually making that heat go all the way into the center of the bird. And by the time the center of the bird has been fully cooked, the outside is nice and golden, brown, and delicious, while still leaving the inside of the bird tender and juicy. And that's what we're looking for, right? Right?
Right.
Right? We want a tender and juicy bird? Yeah, absolutely. What is it that we learned that we have to manage in order to keep the bird tender and juicy? There's two things. What are they?
Temperature and monitor.
Temperature and
Time.
time. That's right. So if we do a good job as cooks managing the time and the temperature, we're going to be left with a delicious bird. All right? And if you haven't done so already, hit that red subscribe button underneath this screen. And if you're looking for some more practical techniques as to how to manage the time and temperature, I'm going to have another video linked up there so you can check that out, where I'm going to talk to you about some really practical steps that you can take in order to manage the time and temperature and make sure that you get the perfect poultry. So until next time, I'll see you in the kitchen. Yeah!